Should you summon on tomorrow's banner 20x rate up for Magda and Constance? Short answer, no.
Fastidious.
Fastidious.
If that's all you wanted, there you go. I really do not think most people should be summoning on this banner. However, if you want to learn more about these two characters, or you want the long, nuanced answer, please stick around. Or, throw the video on in the background. Let's hang out for a minute. Let's hop right in, guys. We've got Magda and we've got Constance on rate up. And these are definitely two of the better heroes in the game. They're definitely in whatever that, not the highest echelon, but the upper echelon of the game. And the things they are good at, they're both still very good at. And of the two, I think the place to start is Magda, where she has become essentially required for the highest level clears in Gear Raid 1. She's just phenomenal behind the wall in Gear Raid 1. She's a very, very strong AoE magic DPS in the form of a melee unit, and she has this truly phenomenal passive, Electric Torrent. Magda, adjacent allies, and allies within her ultimate attack range, it says attack range, but it's her ult attack range, gain penetration increase. So what does that look like? If we pull this range up right quick, it's everyone in the squares directly touching her, if she's that white square in the middle, plus this front row, they are all getting penetration increase and damage increase. It starts off at an increase of 10%, but with skill ups, it's a 15% ignore defense and magic res. So good for all heroes. And then they get a damage increase. It starts off at 10% and it goes up to a 20%. This is permanent for as long as anyone is in her range or directly adjacent to her. It is really good. It is really, really strong. She's pretty special for a lot of things, especially for progression. She's exceptionally good. Basically, any content you would want an AoE DPS and there is space for an AoE melee unit, she is going to shine. So she's exceptionally good in Conqueror, she's good in Void Rift and Campaign, anything that has to do with progression, and she's unbelievably good in Gear Raid 1. You can even use her in some interesting ways for Gear Dungeon 1, but it's definitely not meta. All in all, she hits like a truck. She's a great support ability with that passive, and she's super duper strong. The thing is, she's not like broken game breaking strong for anything. And that's kind of what we need to be looking for and hunting for right now with the anniversary looming over us. This weekend is the last weekend until the 3 weekends of anniversary banners arrive. And for that reason, especially when we know 2 different limited banners are coming, the Moradin banner and the limited selector banner 2 weeks after that, it's really hard to justify going for her. One thing that pulls away from Magda even more is the fact that Valara is coming, and in not every way, but a lot of ways, she is just better Magda. Magda has this fairly mediocre knockback over here from her passive. Valara has an extremely strong knockback with slows. Magda hits extremely hard. Valara hits stupidly hard. The one thing I'd say that Magda is better than Valara at is going to be just having this cool passive, but in every other way, I think Valara really is the superstar. I need to do some head-to-head testing, but having played Magda all the time on my account and having done a lot of Valara testing recently, it's interesting timing to have Magda on rate up right before someone basically comes and replaces her. To be fair, many people will not get Valara. She's an ancient exclusive, right? She's exclusive just to the ancient pool of summons. That makes her way, way rarer. So for that reason, Magda, it's not like she's irrelevant, and Magda's still gonna be really good in so many ways. And in certain content, you could run them together. You could run Magda and Valara side by side in Gear Raid 1, maybe even 124. Maybe I need to work on that comp. You could run a Cultist comp with an Esotericist comp. It would be really spicy. But Valara has the upside in things like PvP, where Magda can be really cool, like especially with this passive, but it's not strictly going to dominate outside of interesting exploits of this ability, whereas Valara is kind of built for a lot of that stuff. Not a really fair comparison to Magda, but all in all, she's extremely strong. She's extremely good. I love her. Even after I do the big overhaul of my tier list, she'll have one of the higher ratings on it. But that being said, with these 2 limiteds coming and, in the shadow of Valara, it's tough to recommend her now. Who should go for her? We'll go hero by hero. I think that's better. Who should go for Magda? I'm trying to move out of the light here. Basically, anyone that has a ton saved or is totally prepared to be spending over this anniversary, unless you're just going to go hog wild on a Morden banner or then the Diao Chan banner or Kagiri banner, whatever you make it, and you're trying to get multiple copies, just getting those 2 copies is only 400 summons, which they're probably going to give us over 100 summons. They said something like 130. Between all your dailies and your weeklies and all the events, easily you'll get over 100 summons over the next 10 days or whatever it is. So for that reason, a lot of people will be in position to have leftover summons if they're just going for the guaranteed within 200 copy of Morden and then whomever they select for that limited selector banner. You could definitely put some in here. It's just the people that are going to really unload going for extra copies that I think still would need a skip. And this is a great banner. I would say only go for it if you want both of these heroes. I think a lot of people will be focusing on Magda, but let's talk about Constance, because Constance is still fantastic. It really is just unfortunate that the introduction of Diao Chan kind of pushed Constance to the side a little bit. So what do I mean? What did Constance have over Dolores? Basically, Dolores could only touch certain squares because she is a platformer, right? She's got that Dolores diamond range. Constance has the same range, but as a defender, she is a melee unit. So let's actually show it at full promotion. She has that diamond range, but from a melee position. So that made her a stronger option than Dolores in certain pieces of content, right? A good example would be APOC 2. She was extremely meta there. But then in came Diao Chan. Can I get to her from here? Yes, I can. And if you get Diao Chan A1, they're not going to show me. All right, so her A1 looks just like Aelin. I'll show you that way. Now you can reach all these little corners that Dolores couldn't reach, and that basically just took Diao Chan to the level of reaching the spots you were using Constance for. Not to say Constance is irrelevant. She's still unbelievably strong. She still has a lot of play in certain PvP comps, though they've been pushing out Arbiter just a little bit, and she is still very good in Guild Wars. I still see her a decent bit. I still use her sometimes. She absolutely remains a really good character, but there was a point where she was definitively, in my opinion, a top 10 non-lord. That point has certainly passed. If you're missing these two, I think you can feel pretty darn comfortable pulling on this in the situation, and it's a very specific situation. You are not planning to pull for multiple copies of Morden and or multiple copies unlimited selector, and you already are in a pretty good saving position, or you're prepared to spend some money. Then this is the kind of banner you could definitely seek out because it is really good. But it's tough timing. If this banner was coming August 21st, I think I'd be recommending it to tons of people. But because it's coming now, I think the vast majority of people, it is a no. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All in all, I think it's an interesting choice. Clearly, they think this banner is baity enough to get some people to pull. I do think that will happen. I think if I was Moonton trying to be nasty and trying to get you guys to waste your savings or spend a little money or overextend yourselves, I would go something a little baitier. Because I'd probably have both these guys ranked for my non-lords probably in the top 20 towards the lower end, towards 20, maybe in that like 18 to 25 range. So really good. But like if they ran Elwyn and Malvira this weekend, I think that would have been a better thing for them. But hey, they didn't, and that's a better thing for us. I shouldn't be giving them ideas. I'm going to stop talking. Thank you guys so much for watching. I have been Fastidious. If you like my stuff, please do subscribe to the channel, and also remember to vote for the Creator of the Year awards. That is live right now. I will have those links in the description and the top pinned comment. I've also have my Smileone links if you want to start stocking up for the anniversary. Get after it. Thank you. Share with your mother, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.